Cartoons, anime, America, Japan, the West, and the East. For years, these two niches of animation have been pitted against each other by nerds online. But I am ecstatic to say that war is over, as a couple of the biggest animated icons from both sides of the aisle have joined forces in a project that involves both of their respective studios. The catch is that it's a goddamn fast food commercial. SpongeBob meets One Piece. An official collaboration that's happening right now in multiple countries, featuring the cast of SpongeBob dripped out as One Piece characters. But what's generating a lot of hype and really getting people talking about this collaboration is the commercial done for it, animated by both Paramount and Toei Animation, with the two sides providing gorgeous work. I mean, look at this. The Straw Hats encounter an island with a giant Happy Meal, and you know our boy Luffy's gotta eat. So he catapults himself towards the supersized good eats. But wouldn't you know it? SpongeBob and his friends are at the same formation, just underwater. And they also got their eyes set on the feast, initiating a race between the two parties. One thing that caught my attention is that the reactions of the Straw Hats all seem to be fresh animation, drawings hot off the presses, while every single shot of SpongeBob's crew is reused animation. I also love that they got my boy Smitty in the collab. Easy pick for Brooke, but I'm not complaining. Luffy gives his squad some much needed momentum, and I really love this moment because it's a perfect visual gag that's in line with both One Piece and SpongeBob. But the way the Straw Hat crew is just standing there in static poses before being lifted up really amplifies the cartooniness for me. The two sides collide, and while the popular interpretation running around right now is that SpongeBob's friends won the battle, putting the Straw Hats in body bags and stealing their fits as a reward, but my interpretation is that both sides actually fused, giving us characters who have the appearance of the SpongeBob cast, but they're infused with the essence of the Straw Hats. And what is by far the best part of this trailer, in reference to the anime's love for impact frames in recent years, especially with the Gear 5 transformation, are these sick impact frames of SpongeBob gracing our eyes before we see this fluid-ass animation of Sponge Luffy flying into the air with his stretchy arms, followed by this amalgamation sticking the landing as he raises up his enlarged fist, transitioning into the lineup of toys. Man, what a commercial. And it seems to be the first of at least a handful, as the director of this commercial, Parker Simmons, creator of Cartoon Network's Mao Mao, proudly stated that there was more to come. He also clarified that they provided the boards to Toei and Paramount, they animated their own segments, and then Titmouse handled post-production internally. And yes, those 6 SpongeBob impact frames came from Titmouse. Simmons also stated that it was incredibly humbling to work with both Paramount and Toei, and that both of them were incredibly generous and collaborative. It was a dream come true. Personally, this commercial really hits for me because it reminds me of the good old days, when fully 2D animated commercials were just the norm. Times have definitely changed, and a lot of big corporate commercials feel a lot lamer now. So although it wasn't voiced, as I imagine dubbing would be a whole nother hurdle, especially in multiple countries, this has the vibes of a much needed throwback. But if you ask me, I would go as far as to say that this may be a game changer for animation as a whole. Now yes, commercials are extremely short, so while I'm sure pulling this off was no easy feat, I imagine it'd still be easier to get something like this off the ground compared to a project that's larger in scale. I already have that in mind with what I'm about to say, which is that I think this is building some very important bridges. American and Japanese studios collaborating with each other on projects is nothing new, but I don't know if we've seen something like this before, where an anime character and a cartoon character are interacting with each other, but those characters are animated by their respective studios. Especially big brands like this. What I'm trying to get at is that I think this is going to be a domino effect to eventually having a bigger crossover between a cartoon and an anime. I don't know that'll be SpongeBob and One Piece in particular, or a collab that we could never even see coming. Give me Family Guy and Jujutsu Kaisen, please. Again, I'm sure pulling something like that off would be a lot more complex than a commercial, which in itself was no easy undertaking. And of course, the stars aligned on this one because of the collaboration. But that doesn't change the fact that this doubles as a proof of concept, tangible evidence that something like this can be done. Collaborations like this are not only creatively fulfilling, but are a really smart business decision. So if there's a way to capitalize on that and to expand on it, best believe they're gonna try to go for it. And I think this could only really happen now, at a point where anime is bigger than ever in America. It took us a bit to catch up with the rest of the world, but what? It's everywhere now. And the popularity of a lot of newer anime eclipses that of Western animation. So while Japan itself is no stranger to fun collaborations, I think it's something a lot of American studios, networks, and streamers can benefit from because it'd be great exposure for their characters and everything they got cooking up. Sounds crazy, but looking at this commercial and getting the tiniest glimpse of how the sausage is made is leaving me with this feeling that what I'm saying isn't a pipe dream. But as always, these are just my thoughts and I want to hear yours. What's your take on this dope-ass commercial? Let us know in the comments down below and keep the conversation going over on Twitter and Instagram at AllSharkVox and at Roundtable Vids. If you enjoyed this video, please throw it a like and subscribe to the Roundtable with notifications on so you never miss a video. Thank you so much for watching and I hope you have an awesome day. Peace!